So, Steelbook Obsessed just posted a video about his organization of his physical media collection. And it got me thinking that I've actually never shown you guys how I organize my movies. So, let's go ahead and do that. They are all alphabetical by genre because that is the best way for me to find stuff. Now, this little corner is the miscellaneous section. Basically, this is just a bunch of multi-packs and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood because I don't know where to put Mr. Rogers. Next up, we have Action Adventure, which starts right over here with 300 and goes all the way down here to X-Men The Last Stand. Two things I want to point out. One, I put the Dark Knight trilogy with the Batman films under B, and the cinematic universes, such as the DCEU and the MCU, are all together instead of with their separate film franchises. After that, we have Fantasy, which starts with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Tim Burton one, and ends over here with Where the Wild Things Are. Then we have a fun little joke section for bad movies, which starts with Basmati Blues and ends with Vampire's Kiss. I did something a little fun with the animated content, where I divide them up into separate little sections in terms of movies, TV shows, and shorts and specials combined. Look at that little guy. So starting from here with the Adventures of Mark Twain and all the way to Yellow Submarine, we have all of my animated movies. And I even gave Walt Disney Animation Studios and Pixar their own sections because they're sort of like the golden standards of animation. I also have a little anime section which starts right over here with Death Note and ends over here with The Tale of Princess Kaguya. And then we have the shorts and specials set, which mainly consists of theatrical shorts and TV specials, which starts right over here with this collection of 350 public domain cartoons. And goes all the way to Volume 2 of the Woody Woodpecker collection. I don't own Volume 1. And then finally, we have the animated TV shows. This includes both complete series, individual seasons, and random episode things. It starts with this Warner Brothers 4-pack, and then it goes all the way down and ends with the Zelda cartoon. And I also gave Jim Henson his own section because I am a major Muppets fan and a fan of Jim Henson in general. That went on for way longer than expected. Stay tuned for part 2. Welcome to part 2 of how I organize my movie collection. If you haven't seen part 1, please check it at the video right before this one on the page. So we left off on the Jim Henson section, which starts at dinosaurs and goes all the way to the witches, which Jim Henson was producer on. And then we go all the way up to the kaiju section, because kaiju is kind of its own genre in general. But it's not just kaiju, it's also just giant monsters in general. Because we got the Godzilla movies, we got the King Kong films, Pacific Rim, Power Rangers, and Ultraman. And now we got horror, which starts from this 50-pack of public domain horror movies and goes all the way down here to X. Then afterwards, I have this little section dedicated to horror comedies, which start with the Abbott and Costello Meat movies and goes all the way to Zombieland. And then to transition out of horror comedy, we have basic comedy, which starts with The Adventures of Milo and Otis and goes all the way to Zoolander. Then we have the dramas, which start with 12 Angry Men, and then goes up to Yesterday. Then we have the sci-fis, which start with Blade Runner, the final cut, and then goes a little bit down to Zathura. Then we have my little documentary section, which starts with The Crocodile Hunter, and then goes a little bit down to Three Identical Strangers. And finally, we have my musical section, which starts with the Andrew Lloyd Webber collection, and goes down and then up again to The Wizard of Oz. As you can tell, I am starting to run out of room. Very much so. I also have this little watch/play pile of some things I'm trying to watch and games I'm trying to play. As you can see, there's Doctor Who: The Web of Fear once, and also Kingdom Hearts: The Story So Far. Ooh. And above that, we have my Christmas movies, because Christmas. And that is how I organize my collection. How do you guys organize your collection? Please let me know. I would love to know how different people organize their movies. Everyone does it a little bit differently. This is just the best way I know how to. This is what works for me. Having things be in a specific genre just works. Sometimes it can be a little hard where to put what, especially if I haven't seen the movie before, but it works. I love it. What do you guys do? And what do you guys think?